My mic has like two mic settings. I record this with the wrong one, so yeah. Universes Beyond. Chances are you A, don't know what that is, B, know what it is and just don't care, or C, know what it is and the idea fills you with a deep sense of dread. Basically, Universes Beyond are magic cards that depict characters or things from other properties like Warhammer, for example. They are completely legal, and there are two major types of Universes Beyond. First, there are the ones that are just regular magic cards, just reprinted with the name and art of characters from other universes. Second, there are mechanically unique cards that have completely new designs. Each of these have their own ups and downs, but one is clearly worse than the other, but I'll get into that. So without further ado, let's talk about the early world of Universes Beyond. Before Universes Beyond became an actual thing, the closest thing we had to it was in 2017. The first ever HasCon happened, and they had an exclusive pre-release for Iconic Masters, teasers for the upcoming set Ixalan, and special promo cards. These included the first ever crossover cards, including D&D, Transformers, and Nerf, three of Hasbro's other most popular properties. These cards are mechanically unique and are silver bordered, meaning that they're under the same category of all of the four joke sets in Magic and not legal in any format. And people thought this was just a neat little special crossover thing for HasCon. And while these would be the only HasCon promos, as HasCon would be delayed from 2019 to 2020, and then cancelled because, you know, I think that kind of makes these cards more special in a way. The Nerf card had you use a Nerf gun that you had to shoot your opponent's library to mill and burn them. Grimlock Dinobot Leader gave your vehicles, dinosaurs, and other Transformers +2/+0, and then you can pay and convert a Transformers toy you own to convert it into his Dinobot form. And finally, the Sword Dungeons & Dragons is a play on the MTG Sword of Blank and Blank cycle of cards that was just recently finished in March of the Machine. On damage, you would get a 4/4 gold dragon token with flying and roll a d20. If you get a 20, you repeat the process. This one is different than the other three since it actually got reprinted and unsanctioned, and using a d20 to get something in Magic is a thing now, not just an unmechanic. The other two have not been reprinted since, and honestly, I don't think they ever will. And while we didn't get another HasCon to have more promos, we did eventually see what those promo cards would have been. They actually released them as their own standalone charity event. This event itself was pretty much a precursor to Secret Layers, but that's its own whole mess. It came with 3 cards for $50, and $30 of each sale went directly to Extra Life to support the Seattle Children's Hospital. The cards you would get were all My Little Pony cards. Oh boy. They were a rarity, which had to do with the rarity of your cards, reducing the cost of rares and mythics. It also gave a creature protection from the colors of the main of an MLP toy you showed off, Nightmare Moon, who buffs itself as long as it's nighttime, and you can pay 6 to transform it, and any pony may help you pay this cost. If they do, they become your friend. It flips into Princess Luna, and when it transforms into it, you choose 6 cards with moons in the art you own from outside the game and exile them. As long as they remain exiled, you can cast them, and your friends may also cast them with permission. Okay, asking for permission to play someone else's card is actually kind of funny. And finally, Princess Twilight Sparkle, which buffs your other horses, unicorns, alicorns, ponies, and pegasi, along with being able to pay Wooburg, and if you control... Oh my god, these names... Me just saying these names out loud make me cringe. Okay. Applejack, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity. Every pony wins. And thank god those other cards don't exist, and I hope they never will. Anyway, as a charity event, these cards are pretty cool, and obviously these cards appeal to people who aren't me, but that's fine. I'd just rather pretend they don't exist. In Ikoria Layer Behemoths, they did an actually cool and special crossover where you could get special versions of already existing cards in this set, just renamed and reskinned to have Godzilla characters on them. And people were actually pretty okay with this. If you wanted to play with these cards from Godzilla, because you like Godzilla, you could. And if the thought of other properties in Magic makes you want to throw your entire collection into a fire pit, then you could just use the regular ones. It was the perfect compromise. And Godzilla actually really fit the set, since the whole set was themed around big, scary monsters. I honestly don't think I've heard one person complain about this style of Universes Beyond cards. The only bad part was the buy box promo weirdly had the name of an actual Magic card, but that card doesn't exist. I mean, I think it exists on like Arena or something, but it is kind of annoying to have a cool commander like that only as a Godzilla card, but it only be for one card, and you get it for free for buying a booster box not actually in the set. It was fine. Although, they decided to take it a little too far the year after. In October of 2020, after Secret Layers were doing pretty well, they decided to release the first ever crossover with another major property that would, later on, be put under the Universes Beyond name. And what was it? Transformers? That's a pretty big franchise that Hasbro owns that they've already experimented with. Nope. Was it D&D, since Magic and D&D are very closely related in a sense, and anything that happens in D&D could realistically happen in Magic? Nope. Oh dear god, it's My Little Pony, isn't it? No? Oh, thank god. What is it then? The Walking Dead. Huh. That seems kind of random. Yeah, they made cards with the Walking Dead characters and names on them, which was weird, but like, zombies on Magic, I guess? I don't know. It just seems very out of left field. But I'm sure they could skin some Magic cards into these characters, you know? Oh, what? The mechanically unique? Oh, I get it. The, like, silver-bordered unique ones, you know? Like the My Little Pony ones. Probably have you, like, open a Walking Dead comic book and read lines to get certain effects or something. Huh? They're black-bordered? And completely unique designs? And aren't getting in-universe versions? They're only on sale for 8 days? Well, shit, this doesn't sound good. Yeah, this is the worst way they probably could have done this. Anyone can get them online, but limited time, only playing into people's fear of missing out. Knowing that this is the only way that they are going to be able to play with these cards in any way at all, and them not being made into actual in-universe cards, made people lose their fucking minds. And rightfully so. They were doing so good, and then they pulled this shit. People protested and complained constantly. Oh yeah, not to mention the tagline of, "Miss a drop and it's gone." Yeah, that's not predatory at all. After that absolute shitstorm, they released the next Secret Layer depicting out-of-universe characters, and is the first one to actually use the Universes Beyond name. This was another Secret Layer with mechanically unique cards, being the Stranger Things Secret Layer. However, this one went by a lot smoother with them announcing a new compromise that they were putting into place. Doesn't mean that they didn't have any controversy with this Secret Layer. Any mechanically unique Secret Layer Universes Beyond cards would get in-universe versions as a part of the list and set boosters and would appear way more often than any other cards. Everyone, while still hating the idea of mechanically unique cards like this, thought it was a okay compromise. It had its own flaws, but in hindsight, it's a okay solution. The problem, because modern day Wizards of the Coast always needs to have a problem, is that they were excluding the Walking Dead cards for what seemed like no reason at all. This just made people even more mad at the Walking Dead cards. And after that, things went okay for a little while. Later in that year, we got cards based on the Arcane TV show, which itself is based on League of Legends, which I would say means it's cringe, but apparently the show is really good, so I'll let this one slide. And these were Secret Layer reskins using the Godzilla formula of reskins. It was probably the best and easiest way to do it, and no one really complained. I mean, the Basic Land one was a scam, like all other Basic Land ones, except for the full text ones. Those ones were funny as hell. Then we got a whole set based off of D&D, and even though it's not considered Universes Beyond, it'd feel weird to not include it. And at the end of the year, they even did a full-on Godzilla, as in Crimson Vow. They had alternate versions of cards from that set as Dracula characters as the box toppers, and maybe collective boosters? Although Wizards had bigger ideas for Universes Beyond, and that was very apparent in 2022. They started off in February, releasing mechanically unique Street Fighter cards via Secret Layer. Then in July, they released reskin cards with a Fortnite Secret Layer, and yes, I said Fortnite. Yep. They also decided to release another whole D&D set, this time under the Commander Legends name, with made-for Commander cards. Everyone at the time thought it was a failure and mad that Darkside Extortionist should have been reprinted in the set and not Double Masters. But in hindsight, the set actually kinda goes hard and has multiple commons and uncommons worth $1 or more, not to mention the dragons. But then, the second major turning point happened, as in that October they released not only 3 Warhammer Secret Layers featuring reskins, but 4 full Commander pre-constructed decks with 40 plus new mechanically unique cards in each deck, along with reprints of a few cards with new art. And these cards were not getting in-universe versions. And holy hell, these pre-constructed decks were probably one of the best products ever made. All 4 decks were insanely cool and flavorful, along with full special foil versions available if you wanted them. Most of the designs were super cool and unique, and overall were a home run. They were the best case scenario for something like this. And even people who hated the idea of other properties being in Magic were fine with it because 1, they were that good, and 2, Warhammer is like, along with D&D, the closest thing to Magic of a game world that there is out there. Not to mention the overlap between Magic and Warhammer players is pretty big. However, just a month later, they kinda fucked things up again. Brothers War was a pretty anticipated set, and honestly, it was a lot cooler than I thought it'd be. However, they decided to have Transformers cards in the set. And yeah, we've had Godzilla and Dracula so far, so what's the big deal? Well, these cards, this time, are mechanically unique. It doesn't fit the set, other than the fact that they're robots. And they're even more out of place because all of the base art is just screenshots from a Transformers cartoon show. I think this was completely out of nowhere, but hey. At least we got 3 more secret layers too. Ooh, including a basic land secret layer. Let's go. I think this was the point of it being shoved in our face that most people just accepted that it was a thing and there's nothing we can really do about it. Hatred became indifference and excitement became lukewarm. And so far this year, we've gotten mechanically unique D&D movie cards in a secret layer, and are very close to a whole Lord of the Rings set and 4 Doctor Who precons, and apparently are getting something involving Final Fantasy and Assassin's Creed next year. I don't know, man. The Lord of the Rings is cool, I guess, and as fantastic as the Warhammer precons were, you could not force me to care about Doctor Who precons. It's just been shoved into my face so much that there's no excitement for new Commander precons or special sets or much at all anymore. I mean, Commander Master precons look cool as hell, but too bad set boxes are pre-ordering for like $500, and collector boxes only have 4 packs. Oh well. Now, I titled this video The Early Days of Universes Beyond because it's clear that it's not going anywhere. Hell, it's only going into overdrive at this point. And what do I think? Well, honestly, I just don't really care. They've made it very clear that they're just going to shove out as many products and crossovers as they can, and you shouldn't be excited for all of it. Just only be excited about the things you like. And in a certain way, I can get behind that, you know? But it's also very disheartening. I was looking through EDH Rec recently because I wanted to build the new Samut. And then, while scrolling, I saw this card. The Lady of Otaria. I think that's how it's said. A cool as hell dwarf commander that tries to fit together old dwarves and new dwarves. And it's honestly a really unique and cool commander. And I didn't even know she existed. Like, at all. Magic is like one of my only hobbies, is what I've easily spent the most of my money and time on. I play Commander for 8 hours every Saturday, I study every set and build a new deck almost every week, and I didn't even know this was a card. And I'd get it if it was like a common or uncommon from some random subset, but this is a mythic legendary that is really cool, and I doubt that almost anyone else knew this card existed either. You wanna know why? This was a Dominaria United set booster commander only card. Not in the precons, only in set and maybe collector boosters. And you know what happened? A month later, Warhammer precons came out. And 3 days! 3 days! After that, Infinity came out. And 1 month after that, Brothers War came out. With the Brothers War commander decks and the Transformer cards. And even in Dominaria United, you wanna know how many new commanders there were? Just in Dominaria United alone. 75. When you make things and tell people to only be excited or only buy what they want, there are going to be so many cool things left in the dust that don't even get a chance to shine. Because whether you like it or not, you got 1 month with those cards. Then boom, 54 more. Next month, 45 more. In this type of release strategy, if you don't stand out or shine instantly, you fall and are almost never recovered. And tell me, what catches your eye first? Set booster commander only legendaries that are as hidden as possible, or your favorite Transformers character? Correct answer? Doesn't matter, because in 1 month there's something else new. I see a lot of people blaming Universes Beyond as one of the newest falling points for Magic as a whole, and I disagree completely. I don't think the problem is we have like Transformers and Walking Dead characters on our goofy little fantasy card game. And I don't think people are really getting numb to Universes Beyond either, despite what I said earlier. I think people are just getting numb to Magic as a whole. Because even if you only focus on the things that you think you would like, you're still going to hear about and be advertised to about all the other new shit coming out. And it's just going to dumb down your excitement for things you actually do care about. Although, I can tell you that Fortnite and Doctor Who in Magic is not helping at all. Although, there's a little spark in this somewhere. Just a little bit of joy left. Whenever I'm playing Commander, I hear from a table or two over someone say, "And I'll cast Megatron." It makes me smile a little bit every single time, at just the absurdity of it. So is Megatron or Chun-Li the problem with Universes Beyond? No, not at all. It's just the right level of goofiness, I think. The problem is, it's just happening way too often. I think Magic as a whole just needs to chill the fuck out. But anyway, actually, I gotta get back to what I was doing. I was actually in the middle of a Commander game. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm back. Is it my turn? Alright, untap, draw. I'll tap the Upside Down to put Nurgle's Rot on your only creature. Then I'll tap my Forge Neverwinter Charlatan to crew the Battle Bus and swing it and Megatron at you. And since Megatron is equipped with Lucille, you sacrifice a creature and I get a Walker token and a Plague Bearer of Nurgle token. And off of the Battle Bus, I'll draw a card and I guess discard the One Ring. And after that, I will pass the turn.